Welcome back. We continue with the International Women's Day theme with a look at the challenges brought about by the gender pay gap. Statistics show that women are earning an estimated 30% less than men, and this is significantly worsening financial burdens for women. I am joined now by Samantha Moyana, who's a debt counsellor at the National Debt Advisors. Samantha, good to have you on the program this afternoon. Now, as a debt counsellor at National Debt Advisors, you have first-hand experience with the financial challenges faced by individuals, particularly women, due to the gender pay gap. Can you provide some insight into how the gender pay gap exacerbates the financial burdens for women in the country?
Good afternoon, Kanta. Thank you so much for the opportunity. As you have mentioned, yes, according to Statistics South Africa, there is a 30% pay gap across industries for compared to men and women. Hence why you'd find a lot of women applying for debt reviews, seeking assistance because their salaries is not enough for them to sustain or to meet their financial obligations. And I see that certain industries, that 30% still do apply. And I feel like this topic needs to be stressed out enough so that women can also receive the very same paycheck as men. Because, I mean, people are performing the same duties. I believe that they should be compensated the same.
Let's speak about the significant rise in single female consumers seeking debt assistance, with many also facing unsecured debts like payday loans and also their medical bills. Can you elaborate on the specific financial challenges that these women encounter, and how does the gender pay gap then contribute to their inability to manage debt effectively?
According to our report at National Debt Advisors, we have discovered that the primary type of debt faced by women are unsecured debt, which should be your payday loans, your credit cards, your medical bills, loan sharks, and clothing accounts. To see that, for example, they're not receiving enough funds, hence why most people rely on applying for debt. You see them living off credit cards and overdraft. By living so, maybe transferring your salary to overdraft or a credit card, that is revolving credit, which can find it hard for people to end up, they find it difficult to exit from that debt trap because it's a revolving credit. There's fees, there's charges, there's interest rates, and then people won't be able to find themselves living off their own salaries, hence why they find themselves applying for more credit in order to sustain or maintain their lifestyles.
So there's also the phenomena of female breadwinners, also emphasizing that many women become the primary earners not by choice, but due to circumstances. In your experience, how does this shift in household dynamics then impact a woman's financial stability and also their ability to manage debt responsibly?
Women find themselves in debt cycles mostly because, as I've mentioned, their income is not suffice to sustain for an entire month or even to cover their financial obligations, which has led to many women applying for debt to cover certain expenses. And that can lead them into a debt trap. Yes, there's a lot of single mothers. There's a lot of mothers who are taking care of a lot of family members, you understand? And maybe that specific person is the only breadwinner and they have to sustain or to look after so many people. Finding that maybe they're not earning enough money, that's why they end up applying for all these sorts of credits, not because they want to, because the situation doesn't allow them to, or their salaries is not enough for them to see to all their needs.
Let's speak about the practical tips for women to manage their debt better, including budgeting, savvy shopping, and also debt management strategies. How effective do you believe these strategies are in alleviating the financial strain caused by this gender pay gap?
These steps to help women manage their debt better and to address the gap, they will actually help. Women need to take time and educate themselves financially. Focus on your debt management. When you focus on your debt management, minimize applying for unnecessary credit, you understand? And then plan your budget ahead. It's very important to budget. That actually curbs so many people from impulsive spending or spending unnecessary. And then savvy shopper. Go for discounts. buying bulk is not because maybe you are cheap or you can't afford, but that's to curb you from actually buying unnecessary things or buying certain products which you can get at a cheaper price. And then grow your wealth. It's very important for people to build emergency funds, to have investments, to have savings that will assist them when it comes to emergencies. They can take from those funds instead of maybe applying for certain credit in order to cover that.
My research material also discusses various barriers that prevent women from achieving financial security, if you will, such as gender disparities in pay, limited opportunities for career advancement, and caregiving responsibilities as well. How can policymakers and employers then address these, call it systematic issues, to create a more equitable and inclusive workplace for women?
It is very important, obviously, for certain industries to sit down and think, okay, what can we do to balance this out? Let's create other opportunities within the industry which will need more women that we can employ. Because there's a lot of them not being employed or maybe doing the same work as maybe the male figure, but they're not being compensated enough. People should not look at the gender, but look at the skills and the abilities that you have in order to perform that duty. Because I believe one wouldn't study to be, for example, an engineer if they're not capable of performing that specific duty.
Let's look at the aspect of flexibility. I mean, flexibility in the workplace, affordable childcare options and parental leave policies are also cited as practical solutions to support working mothers. In your view, what role should businesses and government agencies play in implementing these policies to actually alleviate the caregiving burden on African women and also promote gender equality in the workforce?
I feel that for example, they need to create more opportunities, find out what women actually go through, find out what financial issues that they're going through. There's a lot of mothers out there. They need to see to a lot of responsibilities, kids, school fees. They need to also have enough time to be at home at certain times to be able to see to their families. So I feel that maybe if they can also be more lenient and to find out what women actually go through, because not every woman has got financial support or always has someone who's able to help them to see to their certain needs at home or to perform certain duties.
And finally, what advice would you like to give, Samantha, to especially young women entering the workforce, particularly those who may be navigating the impact of the gender pay gap on their financial well-being? How can they proactively advocate for equal pay and also financial equality in their careers?
I believe that women should do their research, do research in that environment. When you go for an interview, ask what is the salary expectation or how are employees being paid. I know this is a very sensitive topic or a question to actually ask. Or maybe do your research, maybe you know people that work in that industry that you know that, okay, this is the range of my salary of how much I should be paid for. Ask for the policies of the company and find out are male figures and female figures treated fairly, or if not, give me the reasons as to why. I think that will assist women to know what they're putting themselves into. They may be finding out the situations when they're inside. And having everything in writing can assist you in case maybe they don't actually follow what they've stated or have mentioned to you. When they have it in writing, you can actually always take it further.
Samantha, let me thank you so much for your time. That wraps up our discussion with Samantha Moyana on the detrimental impact of gender pay gaps on South African women's financial well-being, also highlighting the urgent need for systematic change. We've heard her